History does not remember the names of those that play it safe, those that do what was normal, those that do ordinary things. History remembers those that do the extraordinary things, those that go beyond normal. Men like Andrew Carnegie, born in a poor family, he started with nothing and rose to become the richest man in the history. Men like Henry Ford, who was laughed at that he wants to create car for ordinary people. Of course, the rule there says that it's only the rich people that can afford automobile. But Henry Ford broke that rule, and today he was the richest man in history. Men like Robert Kiyosaki, who dared to tell us that school won't make you rich. School does not teach financial education. While others was collecting diplomas, Kiyosaki was building a cash flow. He chose to learn money, not just aim it. Even in the scriptures, in the Bible, men like Abraham, who left everything, left his father's land to unknown land that God said he will show him, without even knowing the land, where the land is. Men like Joseph, who went from hatred to prison, and from prison to palace. Men like Solomon, who was the wisest and the richest man in the world in his own time. There have been a lot of mindsets and lies they have told us about riches. And today we're going to look at 7 destructive rules of wealth. Wealth does not answer to emotion. It does not respond to excuses. It only bows to understanding. And the truth is, most of what you were taught about money is wrong. You have been handed 7 destructive rules about wealth. Quiet accepted lies that millions live by without questioning why. But here is the good news. You don't have to live by these rules. You can rise, not just spiritually, not just emotionally, but financially. Not for greedy, not for vanity, but for freedom, impact, legacy, and kingdom purpose. It starts right now. So let's uncover these 7 rules that keep most people broke and the mindset that will set you free. Before we go deep into these 7 rules, they have told us, explained to us, they have teach us. They have told you that if you work really hard, you will be rich. They told you if you got a degree, you'll be set to get rich. They told you money was evil. But the most richest people in the world are not the farmers or the construction workers. Of course, the farmers and the construction workers are supposed to be the richest people in the world because they work really hard. But when it comes to wealth, you talk about wisdom, information, the ideas you have is not by the physical muscles that you have. So there are 7 destructive rules of wealth. Rules we were taught to follow that are silently sabotaging your financial life. And until you break these rules, money will keep running away from you, no matter how hard you choose to do it. So you need to break some of these rules that was handed over to you by parents, by society, by the government, by the school system. So let's get deep into these 7 destructive rules of wealth. Rule number 1, work hard and you will be wealthy. Of course, that is a music they sang and sang and sang as a little child. To tell you, get up to work hard. I am not against hard working. It's good to work hard. It's good to get up on your feet and train your body to work hard. But in most cases, the rich people in the world, they are not the most hardest workers. They are the most smart people that get the information, use opportunity, and idea they have. Yes, hard work matters, but hard work alone does not create wealth. If it does, construction workers and the farmers will be the billionaires on earth today. The truth is, wealth is not how hard you work. It's about how smart and leveraged your work is. Robert Kiyosaki said it clearly. The rich doesn't work for money. They make money work for them. Think about it. Think of owning estate, assets, systems. Don't just trade your time for money. Build value that multiplies even while you sleep. Let's go to the Bible. Ecclesiastes 11:6 said, "In the morning sow thy seed, in the evening withhold not thy hand." It's talking about hard work. Hard work is the foundation of everything. Hard work is the foundation. But wealth is built on ownership, knowledge, and strategy. Period. Rule number 2. Money is the root of all evil. I mean, where do we get this idea from? That money is the root of all evil. Money is a tool in one's hand. Of course, the scripture was misquoted here. This is one of the misquoted verses in the history, in the Bible. The Bible said in 1 Timothy 6 verse 10, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." The Bible did not say that money is the root of evil. It said the love of money is the root of all evil. Money can lead you to kill. It can lead you to defraud. It can lead to so many atrocities. The love of money, too much love of money leads to evil. Money is not the root of all evil. Money itself is a tool, a servant. It's natural, neither evil or holy. But when you demonize wealth, you will subconsciously push it away. That is true. You can't attract what you secretly believe is evil. So if you believe that money is evil, the truth is you cannot attract what you secretly inside you believe that is evil. When you believe that money is the root of all evil, what you are trying to say is, I don't need money. Money should go away from me. That is exactly what you're saying. Jesus had financial supporters. Solomon was wealthy. Abraham had abundance of everything. God is not offended by wealth. He is offended by greedy, pride, and misuse of resources of wealth that he gives to you. So I want you to stop believing that money is the root of all evil. It's misquoted part of a verse in the Bible. So stop making money your enemy. Start seeing it as a tool to build God's kingdom and elevate other people. You need money to elevate other people. You need money for a better life. Rule number 3, save more, spend less. Save for rainy day. Save and save. Saving is wise, but saving alone does not create wealth. It's investing that creates wealth. So what we're trying to say is save to invest. Don't save for a rainy day. Save to invest in something that can build wealth for you. In a system built on inflation, cash loses value every year. So why are you saving? The buying power of your savings is quietly eroding. Robert Kiyosaki teaches us Savers are losers, not morally, but mathematically. You must learn to invest. Period. Save to invest. Learn to invest to make money grow. Let's look at our Bible. In Matthew 25, verse 26. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received my own with usury. This was a story of a master traveling and called his servants and gave them talents and said, occupy. So God has given us money and given us the resources to occupy, to make ourselves comfortable here on earth. But this particular man hid his own talent, and at his master's arrival, he did not bear fruit. The money did not yield any money. So God is angry when he gives you resources. You are not using that resources. Talent that God gave to you, you are not putting it into action. So you need to be putting those talents into action. Use it and help other people. The reason God created you to be wealthy is because he wants you to use it and help other people. So stop believing in rainy day. Stop saving for a rainy day. Save to invest. Save for emergency, yes, but invest for wealth. Rule number 4. Job is the only way. You were raised by believing a job is the safest path, but in reality, a job is a starting point, not a destination. Job brings salary, and the salary helps you to invest in the future that you want. Invest and become wealthy that you want. So the reason those salaries is coming is not for you to spend all, it's for you to invest them. So no job is safe. No paycheck is guaranteed. You see that job, you see that paycheck can stop anytime. It's only the cash flow you created, the assets you created, can continue keeping money, bringing money into your hand for the rest of your life on earth. So that paycheck is not guaranteed, and you are still trading time for money. Job is just trading time for money, the most limited asset you have. Listen, wealthy people build businesses, intellectual properties, real estate, investments, multiple streams of income. Of course, the Bible said in Deuteronomy 8 verse 18, but thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth. Rich people understand this system. They understand building business, building real estate, building assets to an investment for them to be successful and rich and wealthy. But poor people rely on paycheck and their job, which is not guaranteed. God gives you the power to create, not just to clock in. He created everything by the spoken word. And when he came to create you personally, God did not say, let there be man. He said, let's make man in our own image. Shows that God has you in mind, and he wants to make you beautiful and wants to make you to be like him, to create things like him. So start creating and start investing in yourself. Use your gift. Build something. Create value. Don't just wait for it. Rule number 5. Debt is always bad. No. We have been taught to avoid all debt, but that is only half of the truth. Bad debt buys liability. Truth. Things that takes money out of your pocket. Good debt buy assets. Things that put money into your pocket. Robert Kiyosaki said, become wealth by using other people's money to buy assets. The difference is not the debt. The difference is what the debt buy. Is it asset or is it liability? The borrowed money you get, is it liability or is it asset? One verse of the Bible in Proverbs 22 verse 7 said, the borrower is a servant to the lender. God doesn't want you to be a borrower. God wants you to be a lender. But you have to understand how to make debt to be good for you, to work for you. So instead of being the borrower, become the lender. Use debt wisely. Don't be afraid of leverage. Be afraid of ignorance. Of course, the rich people, what keeps them different from the poor people is the knowledge they have. Don't perish because of you lack knowledge. Rule number 6, don't talk about money. They told you, don't talk about money. Of course, we have said they told you money is evil, which is a lie. Root of money is evil, is a lie. And now, rule number 6, they told you, don't talk about money. It's rude to talk about money. Who tells you that? Money is treated like a taboo subject, especially in religious and poor communities. So what happens? We don't ask wisdom. We don't learn strategies. We stay broke in silence. We talk about sports, gossip, and dramas, but not about financial freedom. You have to break the silence. If you don't talk about money, how will you be rich? If you don't call the amount of money you want to handle, how will you become rich? How will you know when you get to that place? So break the silence. Ask, learn, share. Talk about money the way wealthy people do, openly and without shame. Proverbs 6 verse 17. They said, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom. And with all that getting, get understanding. You have to understand the rules of money. Money is a subject worth mastering, not avoiding. Rule number 7, the final rule. You have to choose between purpose and profit. Here is one of the most destructive lies of all. That if you pursue profit, you have not lived with purpose. That you can't be godly and wealthy. They told you that you have to pick either passion or provision, but that is a false choice. God is a God of abundance, not scarcity. You don't have to choose between doing good and doing well. Of course, John 1 verse 12 says, I wish above all things that thou mightst prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth. You have to prosper. You are called to serve with impact and influence, and wealth is part of that influence. So you have purpose and you got to make profit. So all these 7 destructive rules that was handed over to you, you have to break them now. These rules are not commandments. They are chains over your neck. Chains that has kept generations poor, confused, and afraid of wealth. But you are the one who break the cycle. You are the one who think differently, speak differently, build differently. So build the rule. So break the rule. Build assets. Study the wealthy. Seek wisdom. So now you know the truth. The 7 destructive rules of wealth weren't written to make you rich. They were written to keep you running a cycle. They were built to enslave your time, your energy, and your mind and call it success. But you don't have to follow broken blueprints anymore. You are allowed to rise. You are allowed to build something greater. You are allowed to unlearn what school never taught and step into wisdom that multiplies. God never called you to just survive. He called you to be a steward, to own, to lead, to break generational cycles. The men and women we break through poverty didn't do it by chance. They did it by making a decision to stop following rules that don't work. And you have heard those rules. Break them now. And now is your turn. Stop worshiping hustling. Stop calling debt normal. Stop letting fear make your financial decision. You were created for vision, not just survival. For impact, not just income. Let today be the day you stop repeating destructive rules and start writing your own story. Because when you rise in wisdom, when you rise in ownership, when you rise with God as your guide, wealth becomes more than a number. It becomes a tool, a legacy, a testimony. You are not just here to make a living. You are here to make a difference. So rise up, break free, and rebuild your life on the truth that lasts. Destroy these 7 destructive rules of wealth. See you on the top.